not looking back. Eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde. A classic cliche, we're on the run. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss now. I'm done living life with the lights out. Died with my own doubts.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Cricut Card Summit. I'm Amy Ulen, and I'm excited to be kicking off the live sessions for you on this first day of the summit. So if you are watching on the replay, feel free to drop in a comment. If you've got any questions, I will come back and answer those for you. So I'm looking forward to, getting to know each other better and seeing what you make with this project. So just a reminder to you, because it is so early on the first day, this is my project. Okay. And what we did on this project is created our own stencils. And I wanted to show you an example of, I did traditional Christmas colors with this one. You may decide that you don't really want to create a Christmas themed card. So I started doing a different card, and I added some blues and greens. And I thought that was really pretty. So I would definitely play around with your color combination, because you can get a lot of different images from that one stencil set. Okay, so if you are new to me, hello again. I'm Amy Ulen, and I run the Creativity Playground. And the Creativity Playground is all about making time for yourself to engage in creative play, because I truly believe that creative play is as important to our overall health as your physical exercise, what you eat, how much sleep you get. Those all play such a crucial role in our overall health. And we need to add creative play in there, so that we are both physically and mentally healthy and really taking care of ourselves. So let's, Erin, if you go ahead and flip to the screen, I want to show a couple. Thank you. All right. So in the original design, we've got these 4 panels. And when you go to my class, you are going to get the link to this file on Design Space, and I'm actually going to modify it a little bit right now. So if you've already, like, let's say you had the VIP pass and you are have already downloaded this, if you want to, you can come back and download again, or copy it again. But let's say you don't want to use all of your stencil film. Okay. So if you've got in your stencil film, oh, hold on. Before I talk to you about this, I'm seeing that there are actually comments. Oh, good. Tammy, love that you love the blue and green. Oh, good. Jean is asking a question. Would regular wink or wink? Good morning. Would regular ink work also, or must I use distress ink with the stencils? Okay, Erin, sorry, we're going to go back to the camera, large camera. Thank you. So this is Catherine Pooler inks. So really any ink that you can blend, um, absolutely will work. And sometimes, like on this one, you can see, oh, in this corner, I got a little heavy-handed with it. So just know that sometimes you're gonna have to just keep going over and over and over it, especially if you're using an ink that's not really designed for blending, but you can build up the color enough that eventually you'll get rid of any of those like excess marks that perhaps you make while you are blending. Okay, how about, are there any other questions? So sorry, I just went on, not realizing everybody was here. Okay. Yes, and Cindy says that creative play keeps us sane, and that's so true. And as we think about, I was reading a study yesterday about loneliness and how the pandemic really amplified that. And that's the beauty of communities like this, or over at the Creativity Playground. We are coming together in community, sharing our passion for Cricut and card making and memory keeping. And um, we already have all these similarities with one another, regardless of any other beliefs that we have. So it's so important that we make time not only for our own creative play, but sharing that with each other, because that's how we're going to bring our world closer together. And my goal is to just spread love in the world. Okay. Mary says, good morning all. Hello, Mary and everyone. This tutorial hits close to home with me, and I'm so thankful for Amy for being so open in an area where most of us are too ashamed to admit it. Mary, yes, I was too ashamed. In 2014, I went through a depression, a situational depression. And I remember that at that time, honestly, I was an avid scrapbooker. I lost all, like desire and passion for memory keeping. Um, I was going to give up crafting altogether. And my friends and my husband, they convinced me to, no, Amy, you love this. You'll get back to this. And I'm so glad they convinced me not to just sell everything and get rid of it all. Because that's when I really discovered card making. Prior to that, I never felt confident making cards. I was like, and I don't know why, because I could do a double page 12 by 12 spread and I was fine. But the little tiny canvas, I was like, oh no, I'm no good at card making. But I really was. I just needed to give myself a break and try it. But it was so like cathartic and healing to not only create these tiny little canvases of art where I could just go into that kind of Zen flow of putting my love and passion into making the card, knowing that I was going to send it to someone. And then, my friends, here's the important part. You actually need to send your cards. Send them to people. If you download my or join, yeah, I think just join my channel or my mailing newsletter, and I will send you a free card tracker. So it's a perpetual calendar and a card tracker. The perpetual calendar part is each month has its own page. And what you'll do is you'll write down any events that happen on that date every year. So think of birthdays or anniversaries or other celebrations that you want to remember. Keep it on the virtual tracker or the perpetual calendar. Then the tracker pages, you can print as many of those as you want. And on those trackers, then you can put the person that you're sending it to and keep track of which cards you're sending to that person. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm making a card, I want to make more than one, right? I have all the supplies out. So I'm just going to mass produce some cards. I've accidentally, before I implemented this system, I accidentally would send people the same cards. Now, it really happened. It really mainly only happened to my like mail cards because I don't send those as frequently as I do to my female friends. So they typically did not notice that I had resent the same card like a couple years in a row. But um, if if you had the tracker, then that would not happen. Okay. Oh, good. Mary asked, how do I sign up? So you can do it in a variety of ways. If you go to my project page, you'll see the link. And it will take you to a place where you can get access this or my Cricut Design Space file and the SVG that I created for this sentiment. So that's all on that same page. And then I give you a form where you can sign up for my newsletter. Okay. And honestly, I'm trying something out here because my friends, I want to send you emails infrequently. I'm not very good at sending out emails, but I do occasionally. My goal is to work up to once a week. We'll see. No promises. But if you would like to be on my mailing list, I would love to have you on my mailing list. But I'm not going to make you sign up if you don't want to. If you just want these free files, go for it. But if you want to sign up, if you want to keep following me, then I would love to have you on the list. Okay. Um, do I need to use ink or can I use anything else? Rihanna, what a great question. You can absolutely use anything else. So let's look at here. I'm going to hold up this one again. Okay. So imagine if you used some kind of paste on top of this, that would be beautiful. So yeah, I highly recommend that you try out a variety of mediums. You could use paint. I would say with watercolor, it would just need to be pretty dry, right? Like a dry paint, just so that it wouldn't seep under. But honestly, even if it did seep, like that would be fine. And don't forget that you've also got the negatives, the cutouts that you can use to mask anything. So like let's say I wanted to add water droplets to this, but I didn't want it to get on the tree, I could use just the tree cutout to cover it and then sprinkle my water on top. So that's a great idea. Okay. So speaking of the film, so notice, if you recall, you may not have watched the video yet. It's early. No worries. You'll be able to go back. But in the class, I talk about the matte stencil film that I use in the class. But I wanted to show you one other thing first is, okay, I'm going to scooch back a little bit. Okay. This is a giant clear poster board. Okay, I took the label off. Okay. So a giant clear piece of poster board that I got at Michael's like years ago, and it's thicker. It's thicker than the matte stencil film that I use. So it's really kind of a sturdy film. You can cut this down, and then you can use this as your stencil film. This is far less expensive than buying like the matte stencil film that was created for this purpose. So if you are on a budget, this is a great way to, create your stencils, but have it be a couple dollars instead of like $10. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Okay. Susan asks, if you were on a deserted island, what would be the one craft tool you would want with you? Oh, okay. Do I have all of my other like paper and things to create with? Because if I have to make my own paper on the island, that's going to be, that would kind of be problematic. I would probably need some kind of tool to make the paper. But if I've got all my things, if I've got all my paper, my inks, and my stamps, the tool that I would use would absolutely be a MISTI, because I'm assuming I don't have electricity on my island. If I have electricity on my island, it might be my Cricut. but I'm probably going to go with the MISTI. But that's a fun question. Thank you. Okay. So, interesting. So someone says trying to watch your presentation, but the countdown timer is blocking too much of the screen. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe take a screenshot. Would love to see what that is all about. Okay. But let's go ahead and go back to design space, because I want to show you a couple of things. So if you've got the stencil film, you might have been asking yourself, Amy, this is like a lot of wasted material here on these top two. So let me show you a different option. So I'm going to highlight these, and then I'm going to duplicate. And then I'm just going to move these down here and deselect. And then I'm going to line them up again. And I'm going to go up to align and center. Now they're centered. They're all highlighted. So I am going to actually, let's not do it that way. Okay, I'm going to come over here to my bottom right-hand corner. Sorry, my screen's so tiny. And I'm going to, in the bottom right-hand corner, I'm going to hit slice. And now I've got this one block panel that you can cut out and use for both the top and the bottom. Okay, now let's say I'm going to delete that one. Let's say you're like, oh, still too much wasted space. I can't handle that in my life. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this tree, and I'm going to add on my star over in this corner. I'm going to highlight both of those. Actually, let me, just so I can make sure I can see it, I'm going to arrange, send backward. Okay, maybe. How about this? Let's do this, arrange, bring to front. Okay, now I'm going to put that on top. I'm going to select these two and slice. And then I'm going to do this again. I'm going to bring this little guy, arrange, bring to front. And then I'm going to put, okay, I don't want to resize it. I'm going to put in this spot. So when you do this, if you choose to use this one, okay, again, I'm going to slice. All right. Now you've got some options, right? And I'm going to just delete these two pieces. So now you've got options for cutting out those extra panels. You can decide which ones you want to use, how much material you want to save, or if, like me, you've got a million, you've got so much product, it just doesn't matter, then you can cut out these four and not have to worry about any kind of masking. Okay, but I'm going to leave this on the file. So if you want to go back and just decide which one you want to cut, then that is up to you. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go back, unless there are any other Cricut related questions. Okay. Yeah, Cindy says that is really cool. Saving a lot of waste. Absolutely. Right? Because then you would only need to cut out like these two pieces right here, or you could cut out these three pieces versus these four pieces. So it's really up to you. Do you think self-adhesive stencil film works? I have not used self-adhesive film, stencil film. My only concern would probably be the type of paper that you would use. And because when you're peeling off that film, is anything going to either pull your paper up, or if you've already inked, kind of mar the inking that you've already done, or will it leave any residue that would then impact the next layer of inking? So again, I think that that's all about creative play, right? Try it and see what happens. Has anybody else, maybe in the chat, if anybody else has used self-adhesive stencil, would love to know what your experience is with it and what you think. Okay. All right. So just a couple of minutes. Oh, just got on a couple of minutes ago. I use the Dollar Tree plastic flexible cutting mats when I make a stencil. See, that is a great idea. Because there are lots of materials that we can use. And honestly, if you don't have stencil film, cut this out of paper. Cut it out of paper or cardstock. Like, probably not like copy paper, but cardstock. And then just go over it with your blending brushes or your other mediums that you're going to use. And then you get a 2-for-1, because however you ink up the background of your stencil, you could use that on another card. So don't feel like you have to go out and buy anything special. And that's kind of in general how I am on my channel. Is if you join me on Facebook, I'm Creativity Playground on Facebook. I'm at the Creativity Playground on Instagram. But my goal is use what you have. Like most of us, if we have been in this hobby for any length of time at all, we have so many supplies, so many supplies. So don't feel like you need to go out and buy all the things that I use. It's use what you have and get creative. That's the whole point of this. some people will ask, and I think I said this on my video, it's like, why would I go to the trouble of making my own stencil when I could just buy one that's perfect, exactly what I want? For me, it's just creative play. It's taking something like basic shapes in Cricut and creating something brand new out of it and having that fun of the creation of the actual stencil itself, and then the fun of creating whatever projects I decide to create with it. So use your own supplies, stretch beyond your comfort zone and try something new. What I am trying right now is I'm working on learning how to make stickers. And so I'm stretching myself, and I'll share some of that on that kind of adventure on my YouTube channel as well. So I hope you'll join me at Creativity Playground. Okay. So I know that we are getting close to time. We've only got 3 minutes. So if you've got any other questions, please drop them in the chat. If you are watching this later, drop it in the Facebook group. I think Brandy or Harriet put a post already. You can drop it there and I will respond. But please, when you create with this, even if you don't use the stencil, maybe you only use the SVG, tag me. I would love to see what you create and be your creativity cheerleader. That's what I want to be for you. So just one more thing too before we go, to kind of circle back. If you were worried about me, clearly I got over my depression. I am back to memory keeping as well, and I'm using Canva for memory keeping. So if you want to check out my YouTube channel, I've got some Canva scrapbooking videos going up too. Okay. Yeah, so I don't have a Cricut. I have a Scan and Cut. Can I use it? The SVG file? Absolutely. So not only can you use the SVG file on your Scan and Cut, but all of the concepts that you learn in the class, you can apply that to Scan and Cut as well. So it's all about just thinking about how you can use basic shapes to create other shapes. Okay. Can you put the Facebook link in the chat? Yeah, Mary, I can, and I will. I think it's just, if you're talking about my Facebook, it's just Creativity Playground. Yes, but I will when I'm done here. Okay. So, any other questions for our last minute? Okay. Does stretching our creativity count as an exercise? Yes. Yes, it does. And that's so funny that you mentioned that, because I almost, like, when we got on this morning, I was almost doing some stretches because it's so early. But I love the countdown music. I was just dancing to it. And so that was my exercise for this morning. Okay. Oh, Tammy says, thank you for your project and time today. Well, thank you for joining me. And for any other like West Coasters, good on you for getting up so early. And now, my friends, I am going to work. Thank you. Bye.